Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today is June 30th, and this is Crude Logic.
Roll it.
4 in the morning, coffee black, steel toes hitting an old gravel track. Hard hats on, boots in the mud, turning diesel into blood. Cause we drill it deep, we build this land with busted knuckles and calloused hands. This is Crude Logic. Welcome to the show.
We're going to talk about a couple of things. One of those things is going to be this new lithium plant. Apparently, there's a new factory that is extracting lithium from oilfield wastewater. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know how oilfield companies are turning this into a profit, but I mean, obviously they are selling the oilfield wastewater, right?
Yeah. So they take it to this plant, they pull the lithium out, they sell the lithium. What do they do with the rest of the water? Put it back in the ground, I'm guessing?
That I don't know what they're doing with the rest of the minerals and stuff like that. But apparently they can extract a lot of lithium from the oilfield wastewater.
It's an interesting topic. I talked to a guy, it's been a couple years ago. I don't know if his business succeeded or not, but he was taking wastewater and putting it into some sort of machine that would spin it and, like drop all the bad particles out. Anyways, long story short, he was pulling all of the salt out of the salt water and then purifying it and refining it and selling it as table salt to like Morton Salt or whatever the biggest manufacturer of salt is in the country. So I thought it was interesting. Apparently there's a salt shortage in America, according to this guy anyway. I don't know if that's true.
Going back to the ocean.
Apparently
the ocean is all salt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too.
I mean, literally, we have desert areas that are all salt.
Yeah, when he was telling me this, I was thinking, like, couldn't you just go to like the Dead Sea and just scoop it out by the,
right.
bucket load?
I don't know. There's probably some process that makes it extremely expensive to do because desalination apparently is really expensive, but I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, Tabor. So let's get the market update for June 30th on this wonderful Tuesday.
Market update. West Texas is up to 70.26. That's up 1.4%. Brent is at 73.56 at 2% higher. And natural gas is down to 3.17. Baker Hughes weekly rig report came out yesterday after our show. And we are currently sitting at 10 rigs more than we were before at 573 total for the U.S., 197 for Canada, and 1,046 internationally. So
growth
moving on up.
That's good.
Now that the Iran thing is calming down, it seems like all the people who've been waiting to pick up rigs finally did, and I'm sure they'll be dropping them soon.
Yeah, sure, because the Iran war ended yesterday, started back up, and ended this morning. And I think it's getting ready to start back up. We can pretty much set our clocks to it.
Hey, don't worry,
man.
It's going to end before tomorrow. So
we are kind of flying a little bit more on the edge of our seat this morning.
Yeah, this is good. So the number of employees in the oil and gas extraction industry increased slightly from April to May. Anyways, long story short, more people are working in the oil and gas industry. There's way too many numbers in that article for me to tell you how many.
I mean, always a good thing, right? Like we need this industry, and the good men and women out there need the work. So
yeah, I mean, 10 plus rigs, you're looking at least 10 people per rig,
Yeah, 10 people per rig. No telling how many service companies may win work.
I
really
wonder what the number is. I've never even really looked that up. Have you ever looked up what the number is? Like when they bring a rig out, what is the total net additional employment? Is that like, I mean, you got 10 people on a rig at a time, really. I mean, it's five of the crew, directional crew, mud loggers, company man, times two, because there's, a whole other crew on the days off. Then you got the guys who build the pad. I mean, there's got to be 50 to 100
day and night
people.
shift.
Yeah, it's got to be 50 to 100 people easily with just one rig.
You think with just one?
I mean, they're not not consistent. I'd say 20 consistently with that rig following it. Like all in, you've got like somebody's got to build the pad, somebody's got to I'm sure that the labor statistics board or whatever tracks that information. I've just never thought to look it up.
So I want to talk about this company called Element 3. Apparently, there is a new facility in West Texas, Midland area where they're taking oilfield wastewater. They're extracting lithium and other minerals, but apparently the primary mineral that they're extracting from the oilfield wastewater is lithium. I didn't know lithium was even in oilfield wastewater. So I personally think that this is brilliant. And it also proves to the rest of the electric car greenies that you can't do this, people, without oil and gas. You can't do it without this industry. So cool your jets and quit destroying the thing that makes you feel so green and beautiful inside.
Yeah, that's a good point. All that lithium. I mean, there's I can't remember the name of the company in South Texas, but there's one in South Texas too that's all they do is drill for have you ever seen a lithium field where they drill
I have not.
wells?
No.
So they have it's pretty impressive. The wells are only like, I don't know, 300 foot deep, but they'll drill like 5 wells in a day, and they just drill a well and they move over like 50 feet and do it again, 50 feet and do it again. So you go out there and it looks like little rows of corn. Essentially, it's just like a row and a row and a row. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that way it's either that or they have to dig down, and clear the whole land like you see in some of these lithium mines in Africa or whatever, where they've got, big heavy equipment out there, which of course is going to require oil and gas too to run giant diesel engines and stuff. But
yeah, but I mean the impact on if they can, it says that they can. What does it say? It says they can extract approximately 1 trillion gallons of wastewater is produced a year, and they can extract 250,000 tons of lithium. It's enough lithium to manufacture approximately 5 million electric vehicles.
AA batteries. Oh, okay.
5 million 9-volt batteries. Now, apparently it can power 5 million EVs a year. Now, I personally have no use for EVs. They can have a charger on every 100 feet, and I don't care to have an electric car. I can fill my Jeep up in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait 20 minutes to charge my car.
Whatever happened to whenever Elon and whenever the big movement started and they had all these great plans, one of the things that Elon Musk pitched at a tech event one time that I saw was he envisioned a system where you could just pull into a gas station or an electric, whatever, service station, pull in, and like an oil change, they would drop your battery, throw a new battery on, and you just move on. And then it went to that was like 1 year, and the next year is like, oh, it's $35,000 to have your battery replaced or whatever.
Yeah, and in the first scenario, I don't see that changing. Like the price is going to, that's the engine of the car, really.
The problem with electric cars for me is exactly what you're talking about. I can go fill up a car in 5 minutes and go and get a snack and whatever. If I have an electric car, I've got friends that have electric cars, and it's like 30 minutes they're going to sit at the gas station, and I'm already on the road and get there 2 hours before.
Right, your next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I'm
sure the efficiencies will get there. They're just not there yet, and it's.
I saw a meme one time of a Tesla driving with a generator on the back of it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I'm like, a gas can weighs a lot less than a generator. I'm just saying, like, you can't. Anyway, we all know, like, we know who we're talking to here, and some of you may have electric vehicles. God bless you.
We are proud and happy to announce today's sponsor for the Crude Logic Show. Today's sponsor is Pump Jack Apparel. Pump Jack Apparel is Permian-based and Permian-proud. These folks do embroidery, custom swag, and their own clothing line right there in the Permian Basin. You want your crew logoed up on location and looking like a real outfit instead of an outfit of mismatched freebies? That's Pump Jack. Caps, polos, company stores, one-off runs, they'll knock it out. So, if you want to support a local shop that actually understands the oil field, you can find Pump Jack Apparel at www.pumpjackapparel.com. Dress your crew like you mean it.
Well, they're not traders because that electric car is
Running
still
on
predominantly
it's
petroleum.
running on lithium from saltwater.
I'm not sure how they're going to make the entire body of the car, the interior, the wires, the pretty much everything, and probably the battery. In some, obviously, they got to have oil and gas to extract the lithium, or this is probably a new method that they're doing. But I do think it's ingenious because, look, everybody makes the assumption that, oh, well, oil and gas people don't care about the environment. Well, bullshit. We want to hunt, we want to fish, we want to breathe clean air. We want all those things. And I would much rather have a gigantic reservoir full of fish than a giant gaping hole where they've dug for lithium. So if they can minimize doing that kind of scarring to the earth, I mean, and I say scarring to there, like the earth is the earth, right? Like I don't give any
Yeah.
credence.
It's got a little bit of historical rebounding.
Right. It's not a living being. Yes, it is a planet. Yes, we've got to take care of it, but we don't need to worship it. But anyway, that's gone down a different road. But my point is that just to this lithium idea, I don't know how it could have been around this first time I heard about it. So, on me for not being Mr. News Guy. But the lithium extraction from the water that's already being taken somewhere. And I'm sure I know the water's used for other purposes. Like companies have been extracting wastewater from locations, but doing it in this way is just really inventive.
Well,
and I think it's a good idea.
Not only that, but it also, a lot of you called them greenies a minute ago, but for the longest time, everybody was complaining about fracking and it was causing earthquakes. And all of us in the industry, we all know, like, there are legitimate concerns with oil and gas practices causing earthquakes, but it's not fracking, it's the injection, right? So the saltwater injection, water being recycled to make lithium or extract lithium, is decreasing the amount we have to inject back into the ground. So it is helping the environment twofold. That's the biggest complaint I've always had with all these anti-oil and gas people, is that they don't even understand the science behind the industry and what we do to keep.
They don't want to understand it. Those people are going to hate oil and gas no matter what. So lithium, good idea if we're not having to mine for it. If we can take things that we're already using and do that, that's more efficient. That's good. The oil companies can benefit from those efforts also, and everything is good. So something a little surprising in Colorado is that they approved a well near the Aurora Reservoir. Now, people in Colorado, especially the Denver area, have been fighting for many years to shut down oil and gas. All the Libby greenies are fighting it like crazy, and so they've tried to sue to stop different projects. They failed at that. So they're trying to stop individual permits. They approved for the Aurora Reservoir, and everybody's up in arms about it. And honestly, I'm surprised that it got approved with the current Governor Jared Pulsmoker, and he's individually destroying Colorado. And if you live here, then you already know what you know. So that's an interesting development. And it's chalk one up for a win for the oil and gas industry. So
humanity
itself. I think we've done a good job of covering all the boring, informative stuff. Hopefully it's informative. Let's talk about disputed invoices, where all these operators give you a certain time frame to pay, or for them to pay your invoice.
Yeah.
And you know this as me when we worked together at Halliburton.
Yep.
I think it was 60 days for a lot of our accounts to get paid, and on like day 58 they kick it back because there's a problem.
Yeah. You have to turn the invoice in. I mean, it's different for each one, but like you have to turn it in within X amount of days of doing the work, or they're just like, that didn't happen at all. So you got to get it in first within that time frame. And then they they wait until the very end of their payable. Like if you're, like you said, 60-day term, they'll wait till day 58 or 59 and they'll kick it back and say, oh, you forgot to put a comma here or whatever. And then you give it back to them the next day and they're like, okay, it starts the 60-day clock over again. They're literally financing their operation on.
Yeah. And then we wonder why service companies go tits up all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, guys, we had a really good year last year. We had work every day of the year.
Yeah.
And now
we haven't been paid for any of it.
I can't pay anybody because I didn't spell something right on the invoice. Yeah. I'm just saying that I'm sure that there's a good business. I mean, hey, that benefits the operator, right? Congratulations. Yeah. But we've got to do better on not putting so much of a burden on service companies, because whether any operators want to admit it or not, now lucky for them, there is a plethora of service companies. New service companies pop up all the time. So they have their pick of the litter. Yeah. But they can't do any of their operation without any number of subcontractors for that project. It seems sort of counterintuitive to make, and then they get upset about prices. Well, I'm telling you right now, if you're making me wait 60 days, yeah, I'm going to make it worth my while. But then again, you can't be competitive. You can't compete because somebody else is going to come in and go, oh, well, yeah, I'll do it for that price. Even if I lose money.
BS anyway, man, because you get, like, I go in there all the time and I'm friends with my competitors when we were at the same events. You know how it goes. I mean, you're there every
day. You guys are in the same foxhole, really.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so what'd you bid on this? And then I mean, of course, they're not going to tell me exactly what they bid, right? But like we know what our roundabout what each other's prices are. I can go into an engineer's office, give them a bid, know for sure it's the lowest, and they'll come back and they'll say, oh, well, you know, you guys came in the lowest, and we always drop the lowest 2 bids, so you didn't win the work. And the next time you go right in the middle, and they're like, well, you know, you didn't win the work because you don't have any offset. It's always a reason.
Why do they drop the top? Why do they drop the bottom or the lowest 2 bids?
They drop.
Is that just standard policy?
So I won't name which operator, but one of the operators here in the Permian, it is their standard. It's if their concern is if you have the lowest price, then you're pricing yourself too low to maintain your fleet and keep things going. So they think it, you know, lowest price equates to service quality issues, so they just drop you. But they drop you from the bid process until they do it again, which they do every 6 months. So, but it's not really, I mean, you know, for directional, for instance, on the motor length, you know, the length of the motor changes the stator and rotor configuration. It adds a foot, so they call it a different stage.
So size matters.
Yeah, size matters. But yeah. Anyway, you know, it's like a minor change. You can have a motor that's exactly the same as another vendor's, and the engineer will say, well, we don't want to run yours because it's 0.01 inches different or 0.01 revs per gallon different or whatever it is. It's really just a way to say, I'm going to use my best friend and you're not getting the work. But
right. I mean, look, it's their operation. That's their money they're spending. So they have and should have complete control. I just feel like you could pay a little bit faster. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Please, if you've tuned in and listened, please tell somebody else about it. Share it with them. Follow us and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We're super appreciative of that. This is something that we've committed to and that we want to make a good product. We want to make sure that everybody likes it. But we're really excited about the days to come. Tomorrow we have more stories, more updates for you. So until then, stay safe, keep drilling, and remember, it's only logic if it's crude logic. We'll see you next time.
We drill it deep, we build this land with busted knuckles and calloused hands. This is